What up, bros? Welcome back to Throwin Hands. Daniel's at work, but I'm here, and I'm here with Mitch Raposo, an up and coming. What division are you? You've kind of jumped around a little bit.
Flyweight, bantamweight.
Coming up in the New England area. Mitch, how you doing?
Doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing great. So we're gonna hop right into it. We always start. How'd you get your start into MMA, martial arts, and stuff like that?
So as a kid, I was kind of like I played baseball, I played like hockey and stuff. I was always kind of a really aggressive kid. And as I was getting older, like I had two big brothers, so I was always kind of like, you know what I mean, like getting picked on and shit. But like by the time I was like 12, I actually had a neighbor who was training, and I kind of was I watched like the Never Back Down movie. I used to play the video games, like you know what I'm saying, and I was like, screw, it, I'm just gonna give it a try. You know what I mean? Like I've always like loved like fighting. And I was hooked, man. You know what I mean? I found like a local gym in my city, Fall River, and I started training, and I just never left, man. I was 12 years old, and I was kind of just bit by the bug, man. You know what I'm saying? I was training 5 days a week. You know what I mean? At 12, so it was kind of like just for me, you know.
So you get into your amateur career in your late teens. What were some lessons you learned? You had a pretty extensive one for being so young.
Yeah, it was kind of just I didn't have much experience like growing up like in the sport. Like I won grappling tournaments and I had a couple of kickboxing fights, but not like a ton of actual fight experience. I had a lot of wrestling experience. I wrestled when I got to high school. Kind of I ended up falling in love with wrestling, and but I ended up getting hurt like later on in high school. But I was really big into wrestling, so that's kind of how it taught me to compete. But then fighting's a whole different animal, you know what I mean? So I was kind of just I was learning. Learning as I was going. You know, I was taking each fight as it went, and I was learning like very valuable lessons, and kind of just getting that cage time and that experience. You know, really like preparing me for the next level in my pro career.
So you mentioned you're a wrestler. How'd you figure out how to develop your hands pretty well? Because I watched a couple of your fights online. You seem to have your hands well, pretty much well prepared. They look pretty refined to me.
Just kind of growing up in the sport, I kind of was always, I mean, it was always mixed martial arts first, wrestling second, and I feel like that's like I made it to I mean state finals wrestling. I had an undefeated year. Like I was always a good wrestler, but I never really broke through to like the national level or anything like that because I feel like my love was always with fighting. So that's kind of where that stems from. I was always focused on my kickboxing, always focused on my jujitsu. So like I've been training kickboxing and striking for a long time, and so I'm definitely just as good on the feet as I am as a wrestler, but I'm just a very I just feel like growing up in the sport, I just believe in being as well rounded as you possibly can, and that's how you're really gonna find success in the sport, and that's kind of what shaped me.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you well around. You have couple submissions to your name, some knockouts, some decision wins. And what was it like stepping into that pro cage for the first time with Cage Titans?
I mean, it was huge. It was a good kind of like I had my 6 AMI fights and I was ready to make the jump. And Cage Titans was always really good to me. I was a champion for them, and I was just ecstatic to get it going. I think I was 20. Yeah, I was 20 years old when I made my pro debut, and I was just ready to get going. I'm still obviously very young in the sport, but just kind of ready just to like take that leap and start progressing towards the UFC.
So you've graduated from Cage Titans, you moved to CES, which is a even bigger promotion up in the Northeast. Um, where do you see yourself going after? You got a pretty nice win in CES. Where do you see yourself going in the next few years?
I mean, I'm getting this. That's my goal. I already 2021. I plan on going 3-0 this year. I mean, ending with my UFC debut. You know what I mean? That's my goal this year. We've talked to the UFC already. I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? When keep winning fights, and that's all I can control. And to me, it's just inevitable to get in the UFC. But that's my goal is to get into the UFC by the end of the year. We were
So
what is it?
you go.
Oh no, I was just saying as far as just winning fights, and you know what I mean. Especially this year, we were trying to get on the Ultimate Fighter, but it ended up getting delayed to the summer. Dana came out and said, but it was supposed to like happen. Then it got because COVID, obviously. So Contender Series comes back in the summer, obviously every year. So plans just to get another win and get ready for that.
So you're looking at your route possibly being, a replacement or into the Contender Series.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? I know they announced the Ultimate Fighter season. They're gonna do 135ers. I'm probably 25 is more my suitable weight class right now, as far as being young and stuff. And eventually, I'll grow into 35 more, a little more as I get older. 25, even at 25. I probably cutting around 25 pounds, which is, you know what I'm saying, it's not, you know what I mean, it's still a good amount of weight. But they were going to do 35ers, so I definitely would be down to get on the Ultimate Fighter. That's a sick experience to get into the UFC. Contender series, short notice opportunity, man. I'm down for whatever. You know, I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll get there.
So when you get to the UFC, what do you see what skill set do you see carrying? Like what part of your fight game do you see carrying yourself in a sense?
This answer is probably going to surprise a lot of people, but I honestly think it's going to be my striking. Like I think I'm such a good wrestler that, but I think at 125, the power that I have in my hands and the speed that I have, and I have a very unique style that's tough to deal with. I just think my ability to take the fight wherever it needs to go is going to get me to the top. But I just think my striking is going to was what's that's where I feel like right now I'm tightening things up. I'm really focusing on building my confidence and really letting my striking more and more go each fight. But I just feel like my ability to pick where the fight goes, you know, my wrestling is always going to be there. And I feel like my grappling can measure up to really anybody. I mean, in the sport, you know, at any level. But I feel like people are gonna be surprised. But I feel like it's my striking. I feel like I'm gonna get some big knockouts at flyweight.
So in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
I would like to think fighting for a world championship right there. You know, I've talked to my manager Tyson a few times about this, and he always says that my goal, and he always says like if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I could be as good as like someone like Rob Font. You know what I'm saying? By the time I'm like 26, you know what I'm saying? 26 years old. So I mean, you look at Rob's ready, you know what I mean, about to win the belt. You know what I mean? He's right there. Like he's fifth in the world, and that's my goal. I want to be as good as those guys. Now, obviously, I'm a lot younger, so I have a lot more time coming up. Like it's more of a head start than they did. But yeah, by the time I'm 27 years old, I definitely see myself fighting for the belt, with the UFC belt. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, I appreciate your confidence. And to wrap up here, I always like to have the fighter say something they want to say, words of encouragement, a message or anything. Do you have anything to say?
I mean, just I feel like this is a big year. I mean, 2020 was a tough year for a lot of people, but I think 2021 could be a lot better of a year if we can, you know what I mean, really just focus on kind of like getting better through this adversity. You know, everybody's going through tough times right now, and I feel like you just got to double down on yourself and keep doing what you're doing, and good things happen that way.
All right. Where can people find you on social media, Mitch?
Twitter, I think it's mraposo _. Instagram, Mitch Raposo _ Facebook, Mitch Raposo.
Well, Mitch, I want to thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem. Mitch Raposo, everybody.